Hello， 大家好，欢迎收看韦博多媒互动。少数族裔媒体服务中心举办线上座谈会，详情请看。
We know that this is a scary time given what's happening with the variant, but there are safety measures and COVID mitigation measures that we believe that can make it possible for our students to have in-person instruction. Obviously, the state does allow some independent study for those students who have a medical necessity or need to have some alternative to in-person instruction. But we've learned that our students need in-person instruction, that they've suffered the lack of access to educators and peers. And we know that mental health needs have grown and that our learning gaps have been exacerbated. And so while we continue to navigate COVID-19 and the Delta variant, we know that we can deliver on providing a great education to our students. I was very pleased today to start the day with the students at Gala, an all-girls school where students are getting access to math and science to prepare them for great futures. Many of the students of color, low-income students, and so I'm mindful of our families who are skeptical, who are scared. I think it's okay to be scared, but let that fear translate into action that will ensure that our students can get an education and that we can keep them and their family members and their educators safe. That starts with vaccines. And I just want to continue to remind everyone that it's not too late to get a vaccine. I want to acknowledge and congratulate Californians. Californians have availed themselves to getting a vaccine more than residents of any other state. That's great work right there. But let's not stop there. There are still many who can and must get a vaccine. And if for no other reason, to get a vaccine for those young children below the age of 12 who cannot get one until we have FDA approvals, maybe later this year. In the meantime, what we're seeing is that this is turning into a crisis of the unvaccinated. What we're seeing is that 99% of those who are experiencing serious complications from COVID, including hospitalizations and sadly death, are those who have not been vaccinated. I can't think of a more compelling reason to urge everyone who can to get a vaccine than that. 99% of those experiencing the most complications are those without a vaccine. And so I just want to also let those folks who are watching, the parents, know that I share your concerns, but I believe that this can be done if we follow the various measures that we've been given. We know that vaccines are a big part of the question, masking for all of our students and staff on school campuses, and using regular COVID tests. And I was just recapping the importance of COVID testing in addition to vaccines and masking. Our office has helped to get more than 100,000 rapid COVID tests delivered to LAUSD to support their opening. These are tests that will allow you to have understanding about whether or not someone is positive for COVID within 15 minutes. Those results are so critical because that means that you can quarantine anyone who tests positive for COVID, and then everyone else in the school community can continue to be safe. The crimes that have taken place against many in the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. And my office has brought leaders together to talk about ways to encourage partnership and to ensure safety for our schools. We're working with leaders who've created curriculum to teach about the contributions of Asian American and Pacific Islanders in our communities. Our ethnic studies model curriculum talks about the contributions of Asian American and Pacific Islanders to make California a great state. And our Education to End Hate initiative has sent grants directly to school districts to provide training to counter any idea of bias, hate, or racism against any group, including our partners in the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. I would just say that any parent, if you think that anything is happening to address your child, please contact your school district immediately. But again, we're working closely with our educators to support our students. We've even created a statewide youth advisory council where young people, students, can help us lead in conversations about how to get past hate, how to get past bias, and how to create mutual understanding for supporting all of our students. And the day that I got my vaccine, that meant that I could be with loved ones. And that's what's so significant to me for all of us. We can be with our loved ones. We can keep our schools open. We can be in restaurants and public places. We can do this. Let us take care of each other by getting vaccines, wearing masks, using rapid COVID tests, and ensuring that each and every one of our 6 million students gets access to a great education.